national task force charged with improving working conditions for police officers and Kenya prison service officers has begun working on reforms within the sector. Task force chair David Maraga says his team is passionate about ensuring that frustrations within the police force are addressed. This as the Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki launched the Water Protection Unit under the police service to protect critical water assets in the country. Gina Kirori reports.
In 2019, Tyrus Omondi, a police officer stationed at Mandera, died by suicide. Bank loans and a paltry salary wore him down, according to his family, pushing the father of one beyond the scope of frustration. In 2022, an officer from Changamwe police station also died by suicide after he was unable to pay debts amounting to 81,000 shillings. This is just a drop in the ocean of the number of officers who have died by suicide. It therefore comes as no surprise that the spotlight on how to improve the working conditions of officers from the National Police Service and the Kenya Prison Service has once again been cast. The National Task Force on Improvement of Terms of Service of Officers within the force has kicked off the first stage of sampling views from officers and stakeholders on how their working conditions can be improved.
Once we finish with the recommendations, we are supposed to come up with what we call an implementation matrix. An implementation matrix. We will say this needs to be done by this body and within a given time. We will give time frames.
The task force adds that it will keep an eye on the issues of salaries, housing and other areas which have plagued the men and women in uniform.
Medical insurance is one major issue that we are going to consider. Medical insurance is one major issue we are going to consider.
The National Police Service also showcased their weapons and artillery to Maraga, with complaints that they require more heavy-duty vehicles when battling in conflict-prone regions, such as this special vehicle used in operations, which is built to survive improvised explosive device attacks. However, they only have a 1-year warranty.
One is destroyed, we don't have a replacement. So if we can have good funding in modernization program, whereby the IG can have at least a leeway to get in some. Because now we have like 40 of the 40 already around 6 are not serviceable.
Security analysts argue that the trauma officers are exposed to on a daily basis in being tasked with handling murder cases, car crashes, emergency situations, among others, should necessitate the state's high esteem of them, with many feeling unappreciated through poor pay and working conditions.
We are here.
Meanwhile, Interior CS Professor Kithure Kindiki has launched the Water Police Unit alongside the Ministry of Water, which will be tasked with providing security to critical infrastructure, assets and other resources under the Ministry of Water.
The government has been losing close to 10.6 billion every year because of non-revenue water, which are related to destruction of the water infrastructure, non-payment of water bills, and wrong meterings, among others.
Going forward, water and water infrastructure are going to be under the protection of the Critical Infrastructure Police Unit, CIPU, with the special deployment which we are announcing today.
With President Ruto's government keen to assert irrigation as part of their food security program, officers from the Critical Infrastructure Unit have been drawn to protect key water towers. Gina Kirori, NTV.